All right, welcome back, everybody. WHIP Radio in Philadelphia. Tremendous story that I read over the weekend, actually about Eagles player Emmanuel Acho taking a girl to her high school prom. We'll tell you about how it all happened. And now joining us on the hotline is the man himself, Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel, Zach Gelb here in Philly. Thanks for a few minutes. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well, man. Just trying to get the chaotic life I'm now living back in order.
Well, it's definitely probably your star-studded. You've been all over the place. I've seen you all over the TV, the radio, all across the country, and it's been a big national story, and we congratulate you for doing the right thing. But I'm actually perplexed by this whole situation because I was reading the article, and the one thing that really just stumped me was that you never went to your high school prom. You're a smart guy. You're an athlete, good-looking guy, eventually went on to play for Texas. Why didn't you go to your high school prom? Were you not good with the ladies in high school?
Man, great question. So, funny enough, I went to an all-boys private school in high school in North Dallas called St. Mark's. And since it was all-boys, we had a sister school. However, we didn't have the typical prom that everyone else gets to experience. We had something called Marksman Ball. Well, at Marksman Ball, your parents come, and they're there the first hour and a half. It's just super awkward. You're already an awkward high schooler. So you couple that with your parents being there and them showing a video montage of you from when you're younger until now. Just an extremely awkward experience. So I've not yet had a prom myself.
I don't blame you, because if I had to go to the prom with my mom and my dad there, they would have been very annoyed with the things that was going on with that dance floor.
Right? You're exactly right.
So Emmanuel Acho is our guest, Eagles linebacker, going to be taking this girl from Woodgrove, Virginia, down to the prom. I have to ask you, though, how did this whole thing come about? So she sends you the message and then take me through everything that happened after that.
So the season had just ended. I'm in Arizona visiting my brother Sam, who's a linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm hanging out at his house, and I get a direct message. Now, it's not too foreign. I'll typically get a message from fans or from hecklers alike. But this one was pretty unique because it was a young girl, 17, Hannah, who asked me, hey, if I get 2,000 retweets, will you go to prom with me? And I look at it, and I acknowledge it, and I simply say, which gives me time to think. Now, after I'm thinking, I consult with a couple friends, and I conclude that 2,000 is a little too feasible. How about something higher like 10,000, which there is no possible way she'll get? Well, I message her back. I say, hey, if you get 10,000, you got yourself a deal. Lo and behold, 3 hours later, she gets 15,000, and now you fast forward to last Friday when the most recent events took place.
So now, we all know that being the gentleman that you are, you have to go down there and physically ask her to prom, although she accomplished this incredible feat of getting 10,000 retweets. But Woodgrove High School actually cancels their school the day you're supposed to be down there because of the weather. So what audible did you call? And you were quick on your feet, my friend.
It was crazy. I fly in from Austin, where I'm studying sports psychology in the off-season, working on my master's. I fly in from Austin, it's about 60 degrees and sunny, into northern Virginia. It's about -6 with the wind chill. Get to the hotel around 11 at night. I'm watching the news, and I see that different school counties are canceling and delaying school. So I instantly grab my cell phone frantically. I check her school to see what county it's in, and I see that county had closed school. So like you said, had to call an audible. I instantly called the Eagles representatives who were going to be coming with me. They talked to the principal, who talked to her mother, and we had Hannah believe she was going to the school to meet with the principal. And after completion of that meeting with the principal, she was then going to talk to the superintendent to get final approval for my attendance at the prom. Well, after she leaves the meeting with the principal, her mother, and an acting member of the school board, she leaves to go talk to the superintendent, and there she turns the corner and sees me with the Eagles jersey, which reads Prom 2015 on the back, and that's when she just starts bawling, crying, and just loses it. It was great.
And to this girl, Hannah, it's like you are the knight in shining armor. I saw the video and all the behind-the-scenes stuff, and you just see Hannah start breaking down, emotionally crying. And you know all the stuff that's gone on this year in the NFL with Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice. And I'm sitting there just saying, what a good guy Emmanuel Acho is. Did you ever realize how much of an emotional impact before this whole event occurred that you could have on young children?
That's a great question, and simply put, not at all. I constantly think of myself really is just a guy. I happen to be somewhat good at football, but besides that, I really just think of myself as a guy, and it's always very interesting when people are like afraid to come talk to me or afraid to ask for an autograph because they think I don't want to be bothered. Well, when I saw Hannah break down after seeing me, that's when it finally dawned on me that I can have a tremendous impact on people's lives. And really, because I have that capability, it's now my responsibility to fulfill that duty, if you know what I mean. And so when I saw her break down and cry, that's when it hit me like, man, I've been put in a wonderful position, and I need to make the most of that position I've been given to help positively impact people and make their days better.
Well, it's an excellent job by you as we're spending a few minutes with Emmanuel Acho. Zach Gelb here with you, WHIP Radio in Philadelphia. So she's an Eagles fan, although she lives in Virginia. Her family loves the Eagles. But why did she pick you? Did you ever ask her that?
I did. So funny enough, she did her research, I guess. She was at the Eagles-Redskins game because where she lives is kind of Redskins country. It's really just Redskins territory. But she was at the Eagles game in the front row, and I guess after she saw me there, and she did a little research on what players were single and what players didn't have wives or girlfriends, and I guess I came down to a narrow list. And since she saw me at the game, she just went with me as the interesting and I guess lucky recipient.
So you a little bit all nervous going to prom in Redskins country territory that some of these kids may not be so polite to you because you play for the Eagles?
Well, hopefully my physical presence will deter them away, any hecklers. But regardless of that, I'm definitely going to have to come with a security guard just in case it gets a little too rowdy. But no, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it'll be a fun yet possibly awkward experience.
So I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". How about I come and be your chaperone for prom? I'll be the security guy.
Hey, if you're up for it, if you can hang out with a bunch of 17-year-olds for a couple hours, hey, you're more than willing.
All right, so maybe I'll hit you up on that. We'll talk after the interview. So now the big question is, how are your dance moves? Is Emmanuel Acho going to be a dance party animal at this prom?
That's a great question. I have to kind of work on them. The new dances, they change every day, every week. So between my dance moves and my conversational skills, hopefully I can find a way to entertain people at the prom.
So let's say if Emmanuel Acho had to get advice from a teammate on the Eagles about going to prom, because you've never been to prom before, you're new to this whole thing. Like, how am I going to be a better dancer? How am I going to get the best tuxedo out there? Which Eagles player are you going to get your dance and fashion advice from?
Dance and fashion advice, I'll probably go to Brandon Boykin.
Really?
He can be found, he can be found about 2 lockers down from me in our locker room. So we're constantly going back and forth about different things in life, whether it be fashion, whether it be, the latest thing in the news. And so I'd probably go to Boykin. I trust him as a confidant.
You're not going to go to any of those offensive and defensive linemen, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not. No chance.
Emmanuel Acho is our guest. Zach Gelb here with you, WHIP Radio in Philadelphia. So I was watching the Combine over this weekend, and I think the Combine is so overblown out of proportion because you have guys that go out there and have really good 4-year careers, and I look at the entire body of work, but if they can't run a decent 40 time or get a little bit nervous, people start knocking them. You participated in the Combine after you played your football at Texas. Describe your Combine experience for me.
Mine was probably one of the most depressing that you can have. So on my second attempt at the 40-yard dash, I tore my quad. I tore my quad completely. 3rd-degree tear, tore it, off the bone completely. And so I then, rather than getting ready for pro day and getting ready, to be drafted high as you would hope and expect, instantly you're wondering, am I going to get drafted? Will I get drafted later or at all? You have to go back to rehab just to get healthy because I had pro day in Austin, Texas 3 weeks later. So my Combine experience was very stressful. And then to add insult to injury, I ended up getting hurt. Well, thankfully, I did end up getting drafted in the 6th round. And from there, traded to the Philadelphia Eagles the following year, where I've been ever since. But nonetheless, the Combine, extremely stressful experience.
So definitely a draining and rewarding experience even during draft day as well as you were waiting to get your name called. But you said your brother Sam plays for the Arizona Cardinals under Bruce Arians. Todd Bowles was there last year. He's now with the Jets. What advice did Sam give you throughout the whole Combine and draft day process?
Yeah, Sam was the biggest factor and has been the biggest factor in my success thus far in my career. Because he's done everything, 365 days before I have, because he's done everything that I desire to do. He just tells me what's coming next, where to turn next, where to look next, how to answer questions, how to dress and respond appropriately, how to deal with adversity. And so Sam's done a great job of preparing me. And during the combine and interview process, the draft process even, Sam did a great job of just keeping me level-headed and keeping my mind and my eyes fixed on what's most important. And that's continuing to improve and capitalizing on any opportunity you're given.
Let's do a little Eagles talk right now. Your team last year, we all thought they were going to go to the playoffs. You're at one point, we're at 9-3, coming off that big win on Thanksgiving up against the Cowboys. And we all know a big monumental process in the decline not to get to the playoffs was D'Amico Ryans going down, getting injured. And when he was injured, you and Casey Matthews were really the guys that were called up to be that next man up kind of mentality that even your brother Sam is used to in Arizona. How would you evaluate your individual play when taking a look back at last year's season?
Yeah, I think I did some good things. I think I can get better in some areas, but when you evaluate my responsibility, I was playing primarily on first and second down with the main objective of stopping the run. And you look at our run defense, I think we were top 8 in the NFL. We might have been ranked there at number 7. But you look at our run defense, we did a good job stopping the run. Where we had to improve was getting pressure on the quarterback, forcing turnovers, and pass coverage. And so that's where I'm really looking to improve this year, is to make the game-changing plays, to force the turnovers. But when you look at my responsibility and my job description, and you look at how we did as a team within that job description, I think I was very suitable in that role.
So one thing that most Eagle fans want to see improve is the pass rush was pretty good for you guys. Connor Barwin did an excellent job, but it's defending the pass. The secondary had a lot of breakdowns, and I know you guys could probably feel like you could get a little bit more pressure on the QB consistently. How does this defense get better from now leading into next year so you guys are playing January football?
Yeah, I think that's a collective effort. You hit it on the head when you say how does the defense and how does the team get better. Because it's not one player, it's not two players, it's the whole group together. The linebackers have to do a better job getting depth in their drops. The defensive line, they have to do a better job getting pressure on the quarterback. And obviously the defensive backs, when you have a chance to make a play on the ball, you have to make the play on the ball. Whether it's an interception, whether it's a pass breakup, that's just what you have to do. And so collectively, we all have to get better. And then individually, hopefully in this offseason, everybody's working to get a little bit better, because therefore the team will get a whole lot better.
On the way out here with Emmanuel Acho, I know it's not your side of the ball, but there's been a lot of rumors. You're on Twitter. You see all the tweets from all these NFL analysts and fans all the time about Chip Kelly possibly wanting to go out there and get Marcus Mariota. Do you pay attention to those rumors with regards to the quarterback position of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Honestly, you can't. I mean, if you start reading too much into everything you see online, before you'll know it, you'll forget you have a job to do yourself. So we'll see how things unfold. I've been in the NFL 3 going on 4 years now. I've been drafted, I've been traded, I've been released, I've been active, I've been practice squad, I've started, I've been special teams. The NFL career is constantly fluctuating, and it's so dynamic. So you don't have any time to worry about the future, because the present is worrisome enough.
So before we let you run, as Emmanuel Acho joins us on WHIP Radio in Philadelphia, before the show, I was reading up about the charity work that you and your family do. Tell our audience a little bit more about the charity work that the Acho family does.
Yeah, so my parents are born and raised in Nigeria, and every summer my brother and I go back to Nigeria with doctors, nurses, about 40 or so. So we just do medical mission work. Last year we went with a general doctor, ophthalmologist, optometrist, and for a week in a rural village in Nigeria, we just did free mission work. And after I came back, I tallied up what the American equivalent of what we did for free was, and it was roughly $1.28 million in free surgeries. Just based on a $14,000 hernia repair and a $12,000 cataract removal, we did roughly $1.3 million in free surgeries. Our ultimate goal is to build a hospital worth $2 million, and so you can find more information on livinghopeministries.us. But I'm trying to make a difference, not only in Philadelphia, not only in a girl like Hannah's life, but trying to make a difference worldwide as well.
Well, you're an incredible human being, and we appreciate the time today. Excellent, excellent stuff. Make sure you get the nice tuxedo, look sharp, and get those dancing moves going, because we don't want you to have two left feet, my friend.
You got it. Thanks for having me.